Painting to me is limitless in a way that I'm in full control of whatever I decide to put onto canvas. And I like that because it gives me that confidence of, I can manipulate color in any way I want. I can change whatever I want. And it's quick for me as well. It's not like other kinds of art, but painting is, if I decide to do something, I do it there and then. If I don't like it, I change it. So it's deeper than just, money and, I think that's why I like painting, because it gives me the freedom, basically. Makes me able to express myself in an artistic way. I feel like my work definitely puts smiles on people. Even if it's, a portrait of someone that passed on, I've always seen guys smile when they look at it. So I'd describe the feeling my art gives to people as a warm, happy feeling. Yeah. I go by the name Raymond Byaruhanga. I'm Ugandan, definitely. I come from Barara, currently staying in Kampala. And I consider myself a visual artist, majorly doing painting. My day is quite spontaneous. I don't know what is going to happen the next day, but all I know is there's going to be some art in there. But my typical day is I wake up, prepare myself, have some breakfast, then run to studio, see what my mind, drives me to. On days when I have clients, I basically, if I have no client work, concentrate on personal projects. Like the work you can see around me, that's personal work. It wasn't ordered by anyone or anything. So my day basically is me at studio till as late as I can get to, then go back home, do some more sketches at home. Yeah. I had a very fun childhood, I could say. It wasn't really art-based, but I later realized or figured out I wanted to do art in around primary 5. So then I started doing class charts for other classes, even classes higher than mine. Then I developed a passion for it. I had a friend who was in high school, was doing art as well, and I was fascinated by the kind of work he was doing. So I figured when I grow up I want to be like this guy. But yeah, that drove me. Then, well, my dad wasn't particularly interested in me doing art. I figured he wanted me to do a lot of science subjects. Well, but it soon revealed itself that I was more interested in art, given my results, actually. So A-level, he let me, pursue art. Then, luckily at campus, I got a government scholarship, and well, that was it. I don't think he could have said no to that. My passion was within fine art, and my strength was drawing. I could basically just, put anything on paper for as long as I could see it. So getting into campus made me realize there was much more to art than just drawing. And I got to realize that drawing is just a basis onto which you build your other art skills. So I picked interest in giving color to my drawings, making them realistic. So that's why I got into painting. And given my mentors, people I look up to, artists, I was most especially drawn into their paintings. So I always wanted to do that, And it feels good when I'm painting. Very few people are art literate. Very few people can notice art. Very few people appreciate it. But it helps them a lot in everyday life, from the clothes they're putting on to the cups they're using to the wall. My part is to contribute to that beauty that art brings to the environment in general. You wouldn't want to see the streets of Kampala painted in dirty colors or crooked roads, but all that is artistic in a certain way, just that it is not appreciated for what. My work is usually decorative. If I'm doing abstract or semi-abstract work, and if I'm doing realism work, it is more than decorative in that I usually do portraits, a lot of people's portraits, and in that way I immortalize the people I paint. I've in a certain way made them transcend to to more than their life could get them to, because our paintings will last for generations, and there's much more to a painting than just a photograph. If I'm making a portrait of someone, I'm giving it a bit of my soul. It's not going to be like a photo taken by a camera. There's something I want to add to it, something artistic, a piece of me, a piece of my mind is what I'm adding to it. And having these portraits given to people, or it puts a smile on their faces, and I think that is much more than I could ask for as an artist. It's very difficult surviving as an artist here in Uganda today. Art here is not as much appreciated as it is out there. Most of my problems are definitely financial, because art in itself is expensive. Making it is expensive. Coming to studio every day, without anyone paying you, buying that material, feeding yourself, that is all out of your pocket. So it's most especially financial. Then clients not paying, because like I told you, they don't appreciate what you do. You will take 40 hours painting someone's face, and at the end of the day, it's also a plus for me. We have a lot of silent competition going on. We have artists that sell work for much less than I personally would charge. So usually clients are like, why shouldn't I pick someone cheaper? Why shouldn't I go with the other guy who sells his work for 10K? Why are you charging me 400,000 for your piece? But what they don't realize is there's a difference in quality, there's a difference in input. So yeah, we have that silent competition. So generally art has been undervalued all throughout, because you walk by the streets and find artwork that is costing 5K, But for some of us who have tried to establish businesses and set up parent, try to register companies, we find it difficult to compete with those guys, because they're out there mass producing for way cheap. So that's also a problem, actually, not only me, but also other artists are facing. I've been facing this problem since I started out, but I wouldn't say I've been the same all the way since I started out. I've been improving, and having seen that improvement, and having seen that I still have a passion for what I'm doing, keeps me going. Because I still do artwork even when I know I'm not going to be paid. Just to see that I've done it. There's a sort of satisfaction I get from creating beauty and seeing it out there. So that's a major driving force for me. Well, one thing's for sure, that cross-generational gap is always going to be there, and it's always going to be conflicting with different generations. But speaking to guys who would like to pursue art is, first of all, you need to know if that's what you really want to do, because most people take art as an escape route. We had guys at campus who just jumped into campus to do art, get easy marks, and jump out of campus, but they ended up dropping out because they couldn't take the pressure. But first of all, most importantly, is this what you want to do? And if yes, definitely go for it. But what I would advise young artists to do is try to get into the digital world, because the world has changed a lot. You won't just make paintings and sit in your studio and expect everything to be okay. These paintings need to be out there in digital form. They need to be advertised. They need to be all over the place. I have a young brother. He's also an artist as well. He's a good painter. He can draw as well. But I personally advised him to use his talent and his skill to do graphic work. So right now, I would advise a young artist to pursue art, learn the basics, drawing, painting, but make sure there's something digital about your work moving forward. Make sure your work is out there, your work is online.